Welcome to the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. This is your time of the day to learn a little bit about the law while you enjoy your lunch. President Trump's lawyer, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, is on the attack this week. He's harshly criticizing the Office of Special Counsel, led by Robert Mueller, for deleting more than 19,000 text messages between former FBI agent Peter Strzok and former Justice Department lawyer Lisa Page. Both Strzok and Page played key roles in the investigation into Hillary Clinton's violation of the Espionage Act with her private email server, and the trumped-up investigation into non-existent collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. Strzok was the lead investigator in both investigations. Remember that during their investigation into the Clinton email server crime, Strzok and Page texted daily and shared their hatred of Donald Trump and discussed their work on an insurance policy to have him removed from office should he be elected. Both later signed up to work on the Mueller investigation. The special counsel later fired them when the damaging text messages were disclosed by the Office of Inspector General. Now, the Office of Inspector General found the messages demonstrated a possible willingness by these FBI personnel and the Justice Department lawyer to act on their own political bias against the Trump campaign and President Trump. Now, Mueller's records officer told the Inspector General that as per procedure, after Strzok was fired, his Office of Special Counsel iPhone was reviewed and was determined to have no substantive text messages before it was then wiped clean and reset to factory settings before being reissued to someone else. Thus, the Mueller team deleted tens of thousands of Strzok's text messages on his Office of Special Counsel issued iPhone. That erasure occurred after Strzok and Page were removed from Mueller's team over revelations they exchanged anti-Trump text messages, including one string in which they talked about stopping Trump from becoming president. The Inspector General was able to recover 19,000 of these texts from the early part of the Russia probe before Mueller was named special prosecutor. Among the recovered texts between Strzok and Page was one in which they expressed hope that they would stop Trump. However, the IG said it was unable to recover messages from the time Strzok and Page worked for Mueller's office in the spring and summer of 2017 because the memories of the government iPhones were wiped clean by technicians. But those text messages contained evidence. Remember, Mueller fired Strzok because the text messages that were uncovered revealed his political bias against Trump, the target of the investigation. So if some of the text messages contained evidence of bias against Trump, why wouldn't Mueller save all the text messages so that Trump's lawyers could review them and decide whether they contain evidence of bias? Mueller is potentially destroying evidence and possibly obstructing justice. Rudy Giuliani is now calling for an investigation in the Office of Special Counsel to determine just that. Giuliani stated in one interview, Mueller should be investigated for destruction of evidence for allowing those text messages from Strzok to be erased, messages that would show the state of mind and tactics of his lead anti-Trump FBI agent at the start of this probe. Giuliani continued, "It's actually worse than Rosemary Woods." Rosemary Woods was President Richard Nixon's secretary. She erased less than 19 minutes of conversation. But in this case, the FBI got rid of more than 19,000 text messages. The Hill, which is a magazine that covers congressional and White House activities, notes that the text messages the Inspector General is unable to review are now lost forever. So Trump's lawyers will never be able to examine those 19,000 or more deleted text messages. Do you think the Office of Special Counsel will be investigated for destruction of evidence or obstruction of justice? I don't think in this lifetime. But let's hope Rudy Giuliani's focus on the destruction of Strzok's Strzok's text messages will help turn public opinion even further against the Mueller investigation so that we can bring this travesty of justice to a quick close. Well, that's all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. I hope you learned a little bit about the law. Thanks for listening and enjoy your lunch.